Go.
Okay. Hello, Internet. I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
And I have a can of Surge. Woo!
Me too. Woo!
Woo! And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and all I got is Diet Sun-Kissed.
Wah, wah. That's because Eric was afraid to share his address with listeners. Where Ike and we live on the edge.
I'm afraid of a lot of things. We covered this in our pre-show talk. I'm afraid of so many things.
We never have a pre-show talk. We need to just have a pre-show talk so Eric can air his fears.
Calling you just to tell you all that stuff I told you.
Dude, we're friends. Do you not understand that we're friends?
But then I'm also afraid of talking on the phone. You see, like it's all terrible.
You could have Skyped me. Like you could have texted me and be like, "Joe, get on Skype," and I would have been like, "All right, fuck." Eric
I'm actually really afraid of any kind of voice interaction.
I was gonna tell Ike all this stuff yesterday, but then I was like, I don't want to tell him during D&D with all these people I don't know all that well.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. But like
now Ike does. Now Ike has no idea. Like he doesn't know because he wasn't here.
I feel like you need to talk about it, but like save names and stuff. Like when the listeners are gonna go crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Don't.
Or we could just talk about Surge. I don't want to make. I mean, he's already.
I can keep it vague. I can keep it vague. I think.
Keep it vague. All right. Story time with Eric. Go.
So, see now I'm questioning everything I'm about to say to make sure it's vague. So, I'm a fucking loser, as you all know, and a coward who doesn't know how to talk to women.
You're a coward, Eric.
Recently, I decided I was gonna talk to a woman. Then I chickened the fuck out and didn't ask her out like I intended to, and that was fun. But you know, that's par for the course. I'm like, hey, I think I'll ask her out. Nah, I'll chicken out and go home and watch TV. So I did that. The second thing, like I always do, go home and watch TV. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I live in Los Angeles, and a lot of the people I know are aspiring actors and some working actors. And said lady is on a television show I'm watching that night. I'm like, oh, that's weird. She's on this show, and then show she happens to be where the main character of this show misses out on an opportunity to be with her, and then is sad forever. And that's the actual thing that happened.
The TV is trying to talk to you.
Yeah, the TV is like, you're a fucking coward, and we're gonna show you all of your mistakes.
Your pain is just so.
It wasn't like a couple of days later. It was the same day.
It was as you got back.
Yeah, I got back, and I took comfort in. I was like, I will just let this wash over me, and I'll move on, and I'll watch some televised entertainment to just let my mind think of other things. Hey, look, it's her, and it's fuck this show, and fuck living in Los Angeles.
That was so great that happened. So what did you learn?
Nothing. That I'm gonna die alone, apparently.
That TVs are creepy and they can tell your future. It's like better than than having to pay someone to read your cards.
So, but I mean, like the thing is, like you chickened out. You're like, chicken. Who says that anymore? Like
I do. Okay,
so you chickened out, asking this girl out for a date. But what was like the mental block? I need to know what goes through your head, Eric, because I'm gonna stroke your dick a little bit here. Let me stroke your dick.
Ugh.
You're a handsome young man who is incredibly smart and has an intoxicating sense of humor. And that's just me. No, I mean, like, I just think that. I think you're...
Joe, you want to get some coffee sometime?
There you go! Boom! See?
Well, I was figuring maybe what you need to do is go back a little bit, like... I don't know your when you were a child if you were very good with talking with girls. I'm assuming no, because you're not any better than at it now. But maybe if you
I used to be like, I don't know, like my mom always tells the time of me as like a toddler, like hitting on girls, like and shit. I don't know what something happened to me. I don't know what it was.
I was gonna say maybe you could go back and just start with the whole like, do you like me? Circle yes or no, and then just go from there.
No, this is what happened. Eric aged too quickly. When he was a toddler, he had like a really high libido and he was hitting on girls, but now that he's like rounding up on 30, it's actually like he's 130 and now he has no sexual drive anymore. So he's just kind of like, he's aged out of liking any kind of sex, actually.
I don't think that's it in the slightest. I know exactly what the problem is.
Yeah, I've seen research history.
I graduated from high school, got super fat, and didn't leave the house for 8 years straight.
Dude, you're gonna be a catch someday. You know how like the bro dudes are like, oh man, I just gotta find one of those insecure girls and I'm gonna bang it out. Like you're gonna be the catch for some girl.
So you're telling me someday I'm gonna just settle for I'm gonna be an insecure or a girl to a bro? He's
Yes. Yeah. You just gotta find a bro girl. Find a bro girl, and then you could be her trophy man. I think they call it boy toy, but I haven't heard that in a really long time either. Maybe butt munch. That's another thing I'm bringing back. Chicken, butt munch, boy toy.
Wow, did you drink some of the surge already? Is that what happened?
know,
Did you transport yourself back to high schoel?
Going back in time.
Well, maybe for you, back to middle school?
Yeah, right. Eric, I want to explore this more, but I don't want to make you more embarrassed.
No, we can explore away. What the fuck else are we gonna do with the show?
I know, right? Like this is here. Sit on this couch here. So when did you first feel sad? When do you remember feeling sad? I just think it's you've always had kind of the social anxiety problem, and even in the few times we've met in real life, I think you think you're way more awkward than you are. Does that make sense? Like,
Eric covers his awkwardness well with humor, but then it almost makes him not be awkward because it's actually him just being humorous.
Well, right. It's not that I think I'm more awkward than I am. It's just I'm exactly as awkward as I know I am. I'm just sometimes I can mask it, and I think that's the thing. That's the thing you have to get over. Like everybody's fucking awful at this shit. You just got to pretend like you like being around people and having conversations with strangers. If you do that well enough, you just kind of get used to being terrified.
But okay, so I think everybody is that terrified, right? Like it's not easy to talk to strangers. It's not easy to get up in front of a crowd and entertain them. But you've managed to pull that off somehow, right? Like, how does that even happen? Ike, it is not cool to eat on the stream. I'm going to mute you.
God, it's not just the eating. It's taking the box and shaking it next to your fucking mic.
I'm trying to have a fucking moment here, and you're fucking puking all over it. I'm gonna ram my.
No, I get what this is about, because this is like when last week when you and Ike were talking about serious relationship stuff and the way like your both your relationships have changed over.
But
the
you
years,
have it all wrong.
I was just reading comments,
and I have my movie candy with me. That was given to us by a listener.
We're trying to make a rom-com here, all right, and you're fucking it up, Ike. Eric, do you remember the question I was asking? It was very good, heartfelt.
Something about I think I'm awkward. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, I just gotta get over my fucking self and not like it's always like the billion questions and just like finding the right time to ask and it's all horseshit that I.
Dude, you make more excuses for you asking out girls than I make me stopping myself from working out. Like it's. Like
and it's I have that same problem with working out, but I think it's different for me. Is you said how do you do that and perform? It's like because performance is different. There's even though you're in front of all those people, there is even in a tiny little space where you've got maybe 3 feet between you and where the audience starts, and you're maybe like 2 inches off the ground compared to where they are. Like when you're barely even on a stage. It's still there's a bubble of protection of, I'm here doing this in my own sort of reality and you guys are watching it. And it's this, I don't know any of you. You're just this sort of faceless, voiceless mass of energy. It's very, I've never had a problem with performance, even when I was a kid. I remember in first grade, we did like a play about the environment or some bullshit. And I got... I originally wasn't cast, but one kid dropped out, so I got his part. And my mom was like, "You're the only one that actually had stage presence of the first graders." Because when you're on stage, it's like this whole other thing. It's you. I am in control of that. Even it's just something about that. It's different. When I'm with the people, then there's no protection. There's no invisible fourth wall protecting me.
So you have performance anxiety, is what you're saying.
No. He was the best goddamn tree in that whole fucking first grade class. You shut up, Ike! You stop tearing him down!
Yeah. It's not. I don't get stage fright because I'm in complete control of that. Like nobody else. Nobody. I don't have to interact with the audience. I do my
But
thing.
they could interact with you. They could
Yeah,
choose to stand up and be assholes to you
Yeah.
while you're on stage. How is that any different from interacting with a girl? I mean, she could choose to turn around and be a complete.
And you're embarrassing less people. You think she's gonna go back to her friends, but oh my god. I mean, maybe like I'm gonna do my best.
It's not even like it's not even her. It's me. Like I there's so many. Like I'm better at it, but it's just that thing we all have. I know we all have as human beings, but that thing like
I don't.
you go to bed and you just think about all the awkward things you did today and stuff. Like I still remember I was running. I was like in high school. It was like sophomore year. We were doing like whatever the fucking mile we were running.
Mile High Club.
No, we were just running the mile in PE, and then like I was talking to a friend, and I said hey to sort of punctuate that I was about to ask him a question or start a new conversation, and I said that right as like a girl was running by, and she thought I was saying hey to her and said hey back. I still remember, like I still lose sleep over that. Like I don't know why. It was meaningless. I guarantee you she does not remember that exchange, but I do.
It's funny that.
But I think you also bring up a good point. It's not. I don't go to the end of the day and think, oh man, all those stupid things I could have done differently. It's 4 years later when I'm standing in the shower and I'm like, oh man, I remember that one time. It has nothing to do with anything that's going on, and like that person probably doesn't remember me. But I'm like, but that same thing. I was like, why am I even thinking about this? They're not thinking about this.
I like walk back. I'm like
12 years ago this happened to me. I still remember it.
I think everybody has moments.
They do too. They dwell on it. They dwell on it, Eric. They're like, oh, that fucking guy.
Remember that time that guy I didn't know that well in PE said hey to me when we were running a mile?
So weird.
Shiver down her spine.
Maybe she thinks about it all the time. Maybe she's like, I wish I knew that gentleman.
Hop on Craigslist and be like, hey, were you the one when I was in 7th grade I said hey to? Please.
Missed opportunities.
Missed opportunity.
Or misconnections, whatever it is.
Yeah.
F for M, misconnections.
F for T. F for T. M. How many letters do they allow?
I don't know. No, there's separate categories, I think, for.
Oh, okay.
What
Strictly not platonic. Right next to the used car section. I don't know. Everybody has those kind of moments, though, and I mean, I have those moments. I'm like, what the fuck, Joe? Working harder, hardly working? Who fucking says that, you asshole? And I go back to my desk. And I'm like. Just kind of cry myself.
I
to
say it all the time. I just want to make you feel better. I every time. All the kids who are like sitting in class with like their pencil shoved up their nose. I'm like, so you working hard or hardly working? They're like, oh, what? I'm like, shut up, just work.
It's such a dad thing to say. What? Clean your room. Working hard or hardly working? It's like the paper thin sales guy. Like, oh no, yeah, this thing will get you here forever. I don't know, Eric. You're an enigma, but you're not. You're just a regular person, and I just think you need to accept it.
Everything. Just stop overthinking it.
Let it happen, man. Just slide it in. I mean, your speech, just let it go. That's what I meant. I was thinking about different stuff.
Let it.
Break out into song. So let's do a quick teaser. Later in the episode, Ike and I will be drinking some Surge sent to us by our listener of the week, Josh. And also, he got us some beer, too. We'll talk about that in a bit. But first, we have some email that someone sent to us at theshow@justcoolenough.com. We have lovely listeners that send in emails to theshow@justcoolenough.com, and you, too, can participate by going to theshow@justcoolenough.com and emailing us.
Going to it, or you could email it?
You can email. You can go to justcoolenough.com and look for the email address, which is theshow@justcoolenough.com. Send us emails. We love them. And this is a good one, actually. I almost asked this a few weeks ago. So
well, and speaking of awkward things that you're not really thinking about that just come out of, like, nowhere, this is why did you stop doing Eric's Opinion? Hey, guys. Harley here. I've been listening to you since WoW Radio days. I figured I should send you a pity email since you guys never stop bitching about about not getting them. Anyway, why did you guys stop making Eric's Opinions? If you sort the videos on your channel by view count, they're all the top. Would you guys ever consider doing other types of content, such as Let's Play or streaming or Twitch? Also, if there was a Just Cool Enough video game, what would it be like? What powers would you guys have in the game?
I see. what I love about this email is he implies
Assumes
that
that we all did Eric's
that
opinion.
Eric's opinion was a group project, that we are some sort of an organized thing, that it wasn't just I decided to do it one day out of the blue and then just did it for a while and stopped. No, I think I've said it on the show before, or maybe I haven't, but basically it was it got harder and harder to do. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do those because not only do I have to play the game, I have to, at first, before I had a capture card, find footage, and now once I had a capture card, I had to record enough footage that I would think, and then write my opinion, my review, and then read that out, and then film it, and then edit it all together, and it took a while.
It was because Joe and I went on strike that Eric wasn't paying enough, because I was doing the directing and Joe was doing the
I was doing
videoing
casting actually.
yeah.
I was a casting director.
I just got to the point where it took a lot of time, and I wanted to focus my time on other things because I'm doing other like it was for
like trying to figure out how to talk to girls. That takes
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's why I take improv. But there was I mean, before I moved out to Los Angeles, the years I was doing it when I was living, it was basically my only creative outlet, and as such, it was a lot. But at the beginning, it was a lot more creative, and I feel like as time went by, especially when I moved to Los Angeles, I was getting my creativity out in form of sketch writing and improv, and I was spending less time coming. Like I liked it to be funny, but then like I at the end, it was just like I was just doing episodes because I felt like I had to, and then trying to get one out every week, and they were getting the editing was getting better, the gameplay recording, the camera I was using was getting better, but they weren't getting funnier. They were, most of them, like towards the end, didn't have any like humor to them, which I didn't like.
No, but I think that was kind of the magic in it. Like you had a formula. You did, okay, we're going to talk about this. All right, this is what I'm thinking about it. Here's a funny joke. Okay, here's a conclusion. And the conclusion was always, or most of the time, if you like this kind of game, you're probably like this kind of game. But I mean, like, they were good, man. Like, you deserved better. You put a lot of work into those. That's one of the things I feel bad about. Like, those should have gotten some traction because those
they did. I mean, they did okay. Like, I was upset with for a while how poorly they did. Because I always talk to people now, and they're like, yeah, you got to do, like, if you're doing a YouTube video, you got to do it for like a year before it starts to traction. I was like, really? Because I did Eric's opinion for 3.5 years and nobody watched it.
Year 6 is the year the podcast gets big. After you do like 300 episodes, that's when it really explodes.
That was honestly, that was another big factor in that I was putting a lot of work into this stuff that nobody was watching, and it got harder. I mean,
and yet you still do the show.
Yeah, but because I don't put a lot of work into this show.
Right. And that's, you know what? Oh, okay, so I had a meeting with some creative types today, and I was explaining Shout Engine and how you can start your own podcast for free in under 5 minutes at shoutengine.com to these guys, and they're like, oh, okay, so you do a podcast, obviously. What is it about? I'm like, oh, you don't want to listen to it. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. It's really like it's low energy. But I kind of downplayed it. I'm like, it's this show that we do. I mean, I do it for me. I do it for you guys. Like for us. Like it's almost selfish the way we treat the show because it's like 3 guys get on the internet and we talk about what we want to talk about. We threw the script out the window years ago. But it's I was trying to we talked about this a little bit more. It's kind of my like zen place. Like I get to talk to you guys once a week, and it's kind of no holds. We talk about whatever we want, and if it's entertaining to a few thousand people, then that's great. Like I really love that. I love entertaining people, but I don't. It's not the creative outlet that it started out to as. It's kind of morphed into other things. But Eric's opinions were great. Like they were really good, well produced by the end, and but I think it comes down to like the amount of time you put into it wasn't worth the views you were getting.
Yeah, because it's like I have to play the game, which could last anywhere from 5 to 15, maybe more hours to get
a good grasp.
Yeah, to get a good grasp of what the game is and what I think about it. I have to make sure that while I'm doing it, I'm recording, which for a while there was hard. I had to be very like sort of finicky with it because I didn't have a lot of hard drive space. I couldn't be recording willy-nilly, and and stuff, and then once I've played, 15 hours maybe of a game and recorded the footage, then I have to come up with what the joke is, come up with the written part, which I will be perfectly honest, my actual written reviews were very poorly structured, and they would use a lot of fucking buzzwords like, it's a cinematic game with a lot of whatever, like versatile bits, and it just all these stupid fucking
synergistic
buzzwords.
impressions.
Yeah, and
It's like just throwing stuff in there.
it was just like the samey bullshit that I would read on other sites and stuff that I didn't respect all that much anyway.
Do you think if you took a stab at it now, you'd be able to be a little fresher with it? I mean, your thought process as far as writing skits and going about things is so much better than what it was when you were doing
no,
the Eric's
definitely.
Opinion.
The past few years, I see it. I mean, I know, and I've been doing sketch writing now for a little over 2 years, and I know I'm better. I know I'm better. I'm not confident about a lot of things, but I definitely know that I know what I'm doing when it comes to writing a sketch and I'm making things funny. I know I can do it. So I think if I took a crack at it now, it would certainly, the writing would be better, and I would have a better approach with it. And I've often think about doing stuff, because the idea of doing game reviews is going to be hard for me, because I don't have any of the current gen consoles, so I can't go back to what I was doing, which was renting them from GameFly, because you can't rent PC games. So I would have to either go around buying PC games, which would be too expensive, or getting a console, which is possible, but I would rather just stick with a PC. And doing reviews, I think, is a little, I don't know. Doing reviews of new games seems a little not as evergreen as I would like it to be, maybe.
So, evergreen is the industry term for content that'll stay there for a long time, that people will appreciate and view for years and years.
And I really like my sketches. I don't like doing topical sketches. I mentioned this with Ike once on one of the shows you weren't here. I like doing more evergreen stuff, like it's that anytime you can view and it's fine. But I do often get ideas for things I can possibly do. Like I was playing Starbound, and I was gonna do a whole big thing about how I had started to come up with an idea for a video about it, but I was like, Starbound's been out for like a year and a half, so it's not quite topical anymore. So I don't know.
You know what though? You never know when something like that's gonna come around though, because actually, I'm sitting here working on my Volcania Media site, and I'm building a website for people, and then I hear this really familiar music over on my left side over here, and I look, and Sarah's watching the Eric's Opinion to Don't Starve, because Don't Starve Together came out, right? And it's in early access, and she wanted to know what you thought of it, and I was like, holy shit, this stuff, you just never know when it's going to pop back up in a Humble Bundle or what the developers are doing. I
agree. I mean, some of them, one of the ones that people are always commenting on is what is it, Record of Agnaras or whatever. It's this weird. It's this weird RPG that a listener sent me. It's like half RPG, half dating sim, because part of the gameplay is that at certain points you have to marry one of your companions and fuck her, and then your children, whatever your child, based on which one you have sex with, your child will have different stats, and you start playing as your child, and you play through different generations or some shit like that. And that one people are still looking, because it's a really weird, obscure sort of game. But yeah, you can never tell. I've always wanted to start doing sketch comedy based in video games, but again, I don't know how I haven't cracked how that works, because I've seen people try that, and it's never. I know, I forget if it was Geek and Sundry, Felicia's Days channel, or one of the other channels similar to that, started doing some sketches about video games, but they weren't good, and I didn't like. And part of the problem with doing sketch about video games is it's
hard not to rehash jokes, Well,
it's not just that. It's more of an audience thing, because you would either have to do very targeted, specific things, which even within that, things that mostly gamers would only understand. There's so many gamers now that certain
that's the wonderful thing,
broad, though. What is it?
There is a niche for everybody. We did a whole we did a whole radio station based on World of Warcraft, and it's still to this day. I logged into fucking Lito's chat, right? Like for the R&D show. Okay, so Rob and Dan. And
Also, Artemis is the one who sent me record of
exactly.
Agnex Force. He's telling me, yeah.
Right, like there's a listener or viewer base out there that's gonna appreciate this stuff.
Yeah,
I think you just indulge your creativity, man. Like
I know. I'm
I
just
think
trying
it's
to
great.
find a way to crack it and do it. And like I don't know how. I'm like constantly looking for an into something I can do creative for the website and stuff.
Send
And-
Eric a game, listeners. Send Eric a game, and so he can review it.
No,
I'm gonna whore you out. No, we're whoring Eric out. We bring us back in Eric's opinion, just for old time's sake.
If somebody sent me something, I might do it. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there it is.
I'm
It
gonna
would
get
have
that
to be
pregnancy
something-
game then. I'm gonna send that to you. It's only $4. You play it through. It's kind of like a PowerPoint.
No. But and in terms of like doing Let's Play or Twitch streaming, I think.
Well, hold on. I didn't. We don't want to move ahead here. Ike,
Okay.
why did you stop doing Eric's opinions?
Yeah.
I told
Okay.
you.
That's
I already
the
told you. I
last
don't
20
understand
minutes.
what- Were you
The
not
last 20
listening?
minutes was why I stopped it. Now we'll spend another 20 on each of you why you stopped.
I already said. I said it before you said yours.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then this email, believe it or not, we are still in this email section, which we love.
We were gonna do some streaming, but Joe said that he has to get Evolve first, so we're waiting for him to get Evolve so we can
Wait,
do
what?
it.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. You totally did.
Yeah.
You don't remember that? It was
I mean,
also when you said you were gonna
streaming-
play D&D on Monday nights.
I didn't say
Streaming
that.
is good. Streaming is an interesting idea. It requires dedication, and of the three of us, I'm the only one that probably has the time to do it on a regular enough basis to build. Because I remember I did it a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I started. It was like 4 years ago, maybe 3. I don't remember exactly, but I started doing it regularly every day, or no, it was like once a week or something like that. And I played some TF2 and some Counter-Strike Go, and I think I played Battlefield Vietnam. And I started to get people paying attention, like people were tuning in to watch me just play video games. It was interesting, but then I stopped and it kind of fell apart. In terms of Let's Plays, we missed the boat. It's been too long. Let's Plays are so big. Like we have a couple of Let's Plays on our channel that nobody gives a shit about.
But that's because we never promote. We have a marketing problem here.
The problem is none of the three of us are British. You have to be a British guy for Let's Plays to do well, or a lady.
Lady or British guy. That's true. Yeah. I've heard South African works also, but only in some audiences.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we don't do Let's Plays because we're not British. Short answer.
Because I did a daily Spelunky run for a couple of weeks, and again, nobody gave a shit.
That was a lot of fun. I liked watching those. I gave a shit. I care. We make content for each other.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Joe, I really like the Spelunky run. And I'm like, maybe Eric wants to know about Heroes of the Storm, people.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ike's on the phone. He muted himself, though. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nodding. So there's one more thing in this email that is, if Just Cool Enough was a video game, what genre would it be, and what would the powers? What powers would we have?
I think Just Cool Enough would
Classic
be like
beat 'em up.
No, it would be one of those Twine games that's just a choose your own adventure, like text adventure, and it would just be very poorly written, and it wouldn't get a lot of traction. It would be posted on some random forum thing that on some site that nobody knows about, and a couple of people might play it and think, oh, that was interesting, but for the most part, no one will know it exists.
What's a game that's been around for a really long time that nobody plays, but everybody parodies?
Mario.
Mario? No, that's not true. We never had early success either.
Yeah.
We don't know about it. Like we can't even go. We wouldn't know about the Just Cool Enough game because the nature of the show. I think the genre though. So I think classic beat 'em up, maybe like 8-bit beat 'em up would be cool, but not. I don't think that really suits us. Maybe a strategy game with like 3 warring armies of talking people, and we all have our own.
There's a war going on, between giant personalities.
Right.
And we are we are carrion birds feasting on the corpses that they leave behind.
So yeah, we're all kind of like carrier bird, and then we all have our special talent. Like Eric can fade into non-existence at times.
Yeah.
Into
I have-
cloud of awkward obscurity.
I have incredible charisma, but it's like a 50-50 chance that it just blows up in my face.
What's Ike? Ike, you have the power to love.
Why?
I don't know. What?
Yeah, he has the power to teach, but he doesn't have people skills. So like, so he just hates it. It's just a lot of all right, we'll go through this again.
And my power is I'm an idea guy, but I never follow through with anything.
You're like the strategy guy. Oh, speaking of strategy, I remember like you were talking about Sword Art Online and watching it. There's like a new show, or I don't know how new it is, but it's called Log Horizon. It's kind of similar. I hear good things. I only watched the first 2 episodes, and it got kind of dirty old man-y for me, but it's a similar sort of premise where it's like people stuck in a video game. But the interesting thing part about it isn't like if you die in this game, you die in real life. It's like if you die in this game, you respawn. So life is meaningless. You you die, you just start back at the Citadel like everybody else. And you have to eat to sustain yourself, but all food tastes the same. It just tastes like mush, and everything all the drinks taste like water. So there's no there's no meaning to anything.
That's great. Okay, but I don't like the pandering. That's the immediate. I like.
What I hated about it immediately is like they meet this she's the best ninja in the video game. It's like, wow, she looks like she's 10 years old, and also she's the hottest girl around. I want to fuck that hot baby chick. And it's like, oh, ew, gross,
wow, gross,
it's disgusting.
Okay.
Anime. Why is everyone obsessed with this 10-year-old ninja chick?
Because Japan.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Like, what? Seriously though, have you put any thought into our video game?
If there was one, what genre would it be?
Yeah.
And what would your powers be? Do you think?
Well, it would be a puzzle game, and my powers would be when you hit my block, a multiple ball shootout. What? You never played Peggle before? You played Peggle.
Speaking of shooting balls. If you're a fan of, and I'll just plug this one real quick. If you're a fan of Sniper Elite, you might want to check out War Thunder, because I've been playing that. And
wait, War Thunder?
Yeah.
The game where you fly planes and tanks.
Yeah, and the tank stuff's cool because it's like Sniper Elite.
How long have you been playing this?
70 minutes.
Fuck.
Last play today.
I'm gonna go download it right now. I love War Thunder.
It's fun because like you'll shoot a tank shell at a tank, and you'll get like the X-ray of what you hit, and it doesn't matter if you just it doesn't have HP or something. You have to hit kill the crew, or like hit the gas tank and blow it up, or like hit the ammunition, or knock out its engine.
But it has kind of the Sniper Elite thing where it like goes through the jugular of the tank.
Yeah, you have to hit a vital. Like if you just pierce through a tank, nothing fucking happens. It still drives. But if you pierce through and like hit their spare ammunition, you start a fire and kill the crew. And
awesome!
That's super fun. I liked it.
I love when tanks blow up and the crew dies.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. I've been enjoying it. I'm like, this is.
Oh, I'm gonna totally download that after the show.
Yeah.
Well, I think we beat the shit out of that email. If you want us to beat the shit out of your email,
God damn it! Now Artemis has sent me another game, and it just Hyperdimension. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. It's just a bunch of anime girls.
You have to review it now. That was the deal. A listener sends you a game, you have to review it.
He says, now you have something for an Eric's opinion, and you don't even need a capture card to play this, but you may want to use a PS4 controller. So great. Now I have a weird anime game.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. See, this is why I say we should promote our shit live. This is great. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm totally Eric. I'm going to buy you the game about the 14-year-old girl from Africa who gets raped and has to decide whether or not she's going to keep the baby.
What?
It's on Steam. It's on Steam.
What game is this?
I'm going to go track down the name of it.
This is way more serious than Don't Starve or Papers, Please. Why are you talking about these things?
So, I don't even know what this game is. It looks like an RPG. All I just see is very unclothed Japanese schoolgirls.
You're gonna have to. We're gonna use the capture card to get the imagery, and that's gonna get taken down off of YouTube because of not.
I don't know.
safe for work.
I did review what was that shitty, like, it was supposed to be like a ripoff of Queen's Blade, or I forget what it was, but it was like Boob Quest or something. I don't know. It was like some weird MMO. It was all about tits.
There you go. When you're in Steam, it's only $2. Look up pregnancy. You'll find the game. It's the only one on the list.
That is awful. Somebody buy it for Eric. Okay, so let's bring it around. Let's bring it back. We got a feature that I plugged earlier in the show that Ike and we put ourselves out there because Josh seemed like a nice guy, and we got some stuff sent to us. Actually, a whole care package, which was not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting a bottle of Surge. So Ike got his, and then immediately called me and said, "Joe, do not drink your Surge. We have to do it on the show."
Yeah, I was afraid that you might have gotten it already, and we're like, "Oh, yeah, totally." We'll put the cap back on. So, but it was nice because we also in this care package we got a few things. We got Surge, which I was super happy about. Can't wait to.
Surge.
We got some as I was eating it earlier, enjoying it. We had some Reese's Peanut Pieces so that we could relive the days of our youth. But then, in order to remind us that we were also adults, we were given a Pilsner, a Core Behemoth Pilsner, made from a local brewing company, I believe, called Core.
So I'm actually really, I was really sad that my Pilsner, my beer, actually opened up and soaked my Reese's Pieces in beer. So when I got my package, it was sopping wet. It smelled like beer, which was great. And I smelled it. I'm like, oh man, something broke open here. But the glass bottle didn't break at all. Just the cap came off and dumped all over everything in the package. But so I took all the Reese's Pieces and I dried them off individually. No, I took them all and I put them in a Tupperware. And I put them in the freezer, and I was like, I wonder if they taste like beer and Reese's Pieces. And they do! I was like, oh, these are great! You invented a new snack, Josh! Thank you for sending me these in the mail. The whole time I was worried about the Surge opening up because it was like negative 20, seriously, around here. And but he did send us, I think the best thing about this whole care package that Josh sent us was the lovely letter.
Yeah,
this is a handwritten letter. This is a fucking lost art form.
But what I've been wondering is, did he go to the time to write us two different?
It doesn't sound like it, but here, you read me yours. I'll tell you where the discrepancy happens.
So Ike, I would assume that's the first one.
Yeah.
I had a problem. I only had this size box, which was a pretty good size box for the people that are, here's the box right here. I had a pretty good size box, so I added other stuff. Please enjoy some candy. Hopefully the Surge plus Reese's will provide plenty of nostalgia. Then, to remind you that you're actually an adult, have a beer. This is from a local brewery named Core. If you don't like the beer, feel free to dump it. Thanks for being the level-headed person on the podcast, Josh.
He said that same thing to me.
No, he didn't. Actually, so the contents seem about the same. It was very heartfelt. He changed a couple things around, but he said thanks for being a great person. So you're level-headed, I'm great, and apparently Eric is nothing. And but he says
I've been saying that for years.
He fades into awkward unexistence. Quick, play Johnny B. Good. Or wait, no, that was Earth Angel, Earth Angel. He says, I don't know if you enjoy beer, but I figure you need something to remind you that you're an adult. I do enjoy beer, and I was very, very disappointed that this was already open, but it smelled great. It had some really nice...
So the irony of this whole situation is I am not a big fan of beer. But I've been searching for a beer that I would like to get into drinking, so maybe this is the one.
It smells like
I don't know.
I was so excited that it smelled like beer. I was just a happy camper all around. But anyway, let's get to the.
So what you need is beer air freshener. Hey, how long does an open bottle of beer last?
Until you drink it.
No, I mean like if it's open and it's sitting in the refrigerator.
Don't do that. If
Too
you're
late.
opening it up,
It goes flat like soda would.
yeah, man. Like, you're not gonna. 2 hours from now, it's gonna be substantially less good. What did you think of the beer?
Well, first it leaked everywhere, so it's all over my pants.
Good, good. That's a good
But,
start.
It's actually one of the better beers I had. I don't like the beer aftertaste, and this doesn't really seem, aside from the fact that it's now soaking into my pants.
It has some oaky undertones. I would say an
I
oaky
actually
tannin.
really like this. Like, if I were living a little closer.
Nobody cares about the beer, honestly. They've been hyping surge bullshit.
Okay, fine. Well, thank you, Josh.
So tell me, how does your Reese's Pieces taste? Oh, you said like beer.
The beer pieces.
Honestly, I ordered pizza 10 minutes ago, and if they come, I'm just gonna leave the podcast.
So-
Okay, fine. Let's drink the surge. All right, you.
The
open
problem
it
that I
yourself?
have. Well, while we open this.
Yeah, let's.
Is that right before the show, I ordered pizza too, but then I found out in an email that my pizza's not getting delivered for 125 minutes.
Also,
Right.
we should do a Just Cool Enough like gaming thing after we do the show, like every week. I would be down for that.
All right, I opened mine.
Opening mine up. All right,
And it didn't explode like the soda did. I mean, the
So-
beer.
Okay, hold on. I need to waft it in like a fine wine.
It smells like Mountain Dew.
It does smell a lot like Mountain Dew. I'm not a soda. or
What does
pop
it
guy.
smell like? Oh, that's right. You didn't get any. All right.
Yeah,
Smells
it
like
does.
orange.
It does. It kind of smells like an orange, like a cleaner, like a lemon lime cleaner. All right,
Yeah.
I'm taking
All
a
right.
swig. You ready?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, it's like so fuzzy. It's fuzzy in my mouth with like caffeine and carbonation, but it's smooth at the same time. So
You know, at the time I didn't realize this, but now I do. I feel like Surge tastes exactly like Dr. Pepper. I mean, not Dr. Pepper, like Mountain Dew.
this tastes a lot like what
Wow.
I remember Mountain Dew tasting like, but it seems fuzzier than Mountain Dew. Like, is there more carbonation in it?
I don't know.
But
I
Josh!
do know that this can has 230 calories in it.
Wow. Is this like what made Surge so special? Why did people fucking freak out over?
Well, I
It
thought,
had-
I thought it was marketed as one of the first energy drinks.
Yeah, it was coming from off the heels of like that soda Java or whatever Java. Like it was like slightly more caffeinated than traditional soda.
Dude, there's less than 1% juice in this, and I taste every bit of that less than 1%. It's if somebody I never ever drink pop. It just happens, somebody sends you something, you got to try it. But this tastes. If somebody set this down in front of me, I'd be like, "This is Mountain Dew." Like, fucking
Yeah,
Surge.
like,
What are you talking about?
like blind taste tests.
I would have to do them back to back, but I think it's less carbonated. Anyway, so that's Surge. There's no way I'm gonna finish this. I would have to just share it with Sarah. I don't like. I feel like what do I do now? I opened it. I tasted it. Now what happens?
I'm gonna try to put the cap back on my beer.
Humana.
later.
Like when does the high hit, man? Like
See, like I have pizza coming in. I want to drink the Surge with the pizza now. I don't want to like. It's good. I enjoy
does
it.
seem
I'd
like a good
get a
pizza,
case.
yeah.
I mean, they did make the cans bigger. This is more like the energy drink size cans. I remember it used to be a standard size can, but I wanted. My friend actually has Amazon Prime, so I told him I might just have to take him up on an order because it's like $14 for a case, and then $5 if you want to put them in the specific box, and you get.
Oh, okay. So it has yellow 5 and 6 in it, and that's really good. Because did one of those kill
Kills
your
all
sperm?
the sperm. Yeah, that was the whole
Like yellow
rumor.
5 kills the sperm, and yellow 6 takes care of the embryos after you have sex.
And now my Fitbit smells
Yellow
like beer.
8 is the one that will help your kids get into college.
Oh,
That's why it's so hard to find.
Yeah.
and red 5 is going in. Awful joke. I'm so happy we've had so many live listeners, but none of the live listeners have commented in our YouTube chat channel. We do the live show each week at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and what is that? 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
I almost said specific. That would have been fucking awful because
time.
I would blame it on the Surge. I'm drunk on power and caffeine. If you want to listen live, you can, or watch this sausage being made live, you can do it by going to our Just Cool Enough website, and I've been posting the link live over there, so go check it out.
Or if you want to
Just
send
cool
us like food or things to drink on the air to try in front of you.
I don't know what to. Like, I feel like I should do something more extreme, like pour it all over my face. But I like this shirt, so I'm not gonna do that.
Well, I think it's time we stop talking about this bullshit, like not being able to talk to girls and soda, and start plugging each other.
I can talk.
Yeah, Macho Man.
I guess my plug for this week, unless this Ike wants to get his joke off.
No, I got it off.
Okay, I didn't
I
hear
talked to Serge just fine.
it.
So
Okay,
we talked to girls and soda. I can talk to soda.
yeah, I do. I express my feelings to soda all the time.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
I express my feelings to gnocchi and also cannolis.
So my plug for this week is as I don't know if you guys know this watching this podcast, but I am a fan of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd.
Yeah. And
What's that?
There's a lot of like different like YouTube series or podcasts about Dungeons and Dragons, and most of them I try watching, and it's just like I don't like the personalities, or it's just like some guy's live stream of his Roll20 campaign, and I just don't care. But the guys over at Node, who are they are Sam and Nico from Corridor Digital, who do a bunch of awesome video shorts, and Brandon JLA, who used to work with Freddie Wong and now does his own stuff. They have a gaming channel called Node where they do gameplay and stuff, which is really awesome. And they started a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and it's great because they play in a room and they have miniatures, and they use they film it with multiple cameras. They use editing. There's a little bit of production value, so it's like probably the best representation I've seen of like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign because they cut the fat and it's just
Robot Chicken meets Dungeons and Dragons. Is that
no? Because it's not like super like joke, like part of the problem I have with a lot of these things. It's like inside jokes that only us understand. And this
So
is
how
just
do you survive our show?
well, because it's our inside jokes. It's other people's inside jokes.
It's like your own fart. An inside joke is like your own fart. Like you don't think it's bad, but everybody else does.
Yeah, I would totally recommend because they're very seriously playing Dungeons and Dragons, and a couple of them are new, and it just really there's 5 episodes out at the moment, and they're just really well done, like really production-wise. I mean, these guys are filmmakers, so they know how to shoot a thing. So even a thing as boring as a couple of guys sitting around tables rolling dice is shot very well. So you can check out either on their Node channel, or if you can just check out the show notes, I've got the link to just the playlist of all the episodes, and it's really entertaining. So even if you don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, it's a really awesome representation of the game.
Awesome. My plug for this week is a throwback, since we've had all this talk about the WoW radio days and things like that.
Sounds like kittens? No, that's a throw up.
There's an inside joke. It smells bad, Ike. Stop it. Silent but deadly. That would be your secret power, Ike. You would be silent but deadly. My plug for this week is Robin Dan Show, better known as Lido and Mac Harbor guy from way back in the day. Go check. They've been doing a show just as much, if not more, than we have.
And it's equally as popular, which is, unfortunately, it's an insult to them unintentionally. But actually, I don't know. They are probably more popular than we are.
They have to be. I'm guessing they have to be.
I would be ashamed if they were as popular as us. They should definitely be more popular than us.
Listen, we're like, yeah. So anyway, they live stream quite a bit and do a lot of good stuff. Anyway, check out Rob and Dan at therobindanshow.com. Those guys have been doing it, like I said, for a while, and why not do a little cross promotion? I don't know if they're going to promote us, but I went in their chat room and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Holy shit, Speedy at 40!" There's like a bunch of people. I'm like, "Oh wow, all right, well, I guess I'll plug that." And so there you go. Ike, what do you got? What are you plugging this week?
Well, first of all, Surge is pretty good. The beer was pretty good, and the Reese's Pieces were pretty good. But Reese's Pieces Surge beer, not really good.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, so my plug this week is go check out on YouTube if you're looking for something to check out. Check out Sick Vita. That's SIC space VITA. Sick Vita. They are a local band who just put out their first music video called Ad Nauseum. It's really awesome. They put it out a day ago, and I'm trying to help spread the word. But check it out. Their music's awesome if you like kind of like rock stuff.
Oh, I got the URL wrong. It's robindan.tv, by the way.
You bastard.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Sigvita.
What was it again? You've promoted
Sig-
these guys before, though, right?
Yeah, but like they just put out their first. I mean, they have 2 albums out now, but they just put out their first music video, so they're trying to get it out there. It's actually like officially promoted. They paid somebody to go out and not me to promote their video.
Do you know how you get that on the show notes, Ike?
Nope. I could link it in the chat here, and you could put it in there.
That's good enough. Link it in the chat. I'll figure it out for you. So we'll make sure that's on the show notes at justcoolenough.com. What else we got? Anything else? Any housekeeping? I keep burping. I'm not used to drinking carbonated beverages like this. I'm just like...
Anybody else? Oh, yeah. Shout out to, I don't know his name, but I know he goes to Bellingham High School. And apparently he listens to us.
All right, shout out to all the guys and girls at Bellingham High School.
Because the guy's like, hey, I saw he's talking to my girlfriend, who's his teacher. Hey, I saw pictures of you. She's like, on the internet. And she's like, oh, well, what? And he's like, yeah, with the fairy wings, because our friend's a photographer. She's like, oh. And she somehow got on the topic of me. And the guy's like, oh, he does Just Cool Enough, doesn't he? So weird.
No way. It finally happened.
Yeah, through somebody else. Yeah, there's somebody who recognized me through.
Finally, we could stop doing the show. Our whole goal was to do it until one person randomly he recognizes us, and not at like some video game convention, but just like walking down the street. Though this doesn't exactly count because he didn't technically you weren't in the room.
I haven't actually met the guy.
I guess we still have to keep doing the show.
God damn it!
Shout out to Josh. Thanks for sending us cool stuff, and remember to send us emails. You could follow me. I'm going to fuck up the order, but who cares? You can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/SpeedyF40.
You can always follow me on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
And you can follow me on Instagram. It's Ike_Dodge. I'll try to friend back, but a lot of people seem to have like blocked profiles, and I don't know if they're bots.
Yeah. Speaking of bots, somebody friended me on Steam, and I was like, yeah, maybe it's a listener who wanted to give me a game or just wanted to found me on Steam. I was like, yeah, sure. Normally, if I don't know them or don't have.
Oh my God. Okay, so I want you guys to have a good weekend and everything, but make sure that Eric needs to eat his pizza now. Go fuck off.
Hey.
Wow, Joe, you don't have to be so mean.
Hey, I was
no. Story. How does it feel? How does that feel, Eric? How about we screw that up a little bit?
Well, it's your fault then when the listeners complain that this show is under an hour.
And that
they're going to complain about free content? And I'm sick of that. I'm going to drink my Search makes me angry. I get belligerent.